The pupper seems to have tilted. I am not quite completely set up. I'm just plugging in the cable for my controller here, and then I'm good to go. But then I kind of wanted to start after I saw pupper tilt there. I'm dog sitting my cousin's corgi right now. Riley is her name, so she's been here for a little while. And she's kind of sticking to me like glue among the household here. Definitely very attached to me. I'm one of the people that she's known the longest. Here. My cousin wanted to get a purebred corgi many years ago, so he got her as a puppy flown in from Saskatchewan, the next province over. Had to get her from the airport, and I was one of the people that was there on like the day that she landed, so I've known Riley a very long time. She's gonna be 6 years soon. I don't remember what age she was when she first arrived, but I've known her for quite a while. She's around at like any family gathering. While we're playing video games, sometimes there'll be a corgi running around and jumping on people and mauling the kiddos' faces and stuff like that. is kind of what happens. It's always super funny to see. So, pupper cam, corgi cam is what's going on here tonight. Ravensthorpe. And I figured, like, hey, let's go ahead and do another Assassin's Creed Valhalla stream. The map is, like, you'd think it'd be, like, furthest left or something like that. But it's, like, I guess technically right in the middle, but it looks almost like it's a little bit more to the right because things like abilities and inventory take up so much more text space. So it looks like world is almost a little bit lopsided towards the right. And I kind of just wish that it would be all the way to the left or something like that. So I figured, hey, let's just go ahead and do like another story quest here. We'll go through another quest line tonight. It is currently Wednesday, the 19th of February. And I'm not going to ring the bell there. There's a few things I'll probably talk about here later in the stream when I have like some chances to. The really big thing that's come up is just the fact that, like, as of earlier today, Twitch has kind of scheduled all my old VODs onto the chopping block. So, while I previously had in the description of all my videos a link to, like, the full VODs where you could find a Twitch collection, which is essentially the equivalent of a YouTube playlist, to find, like, all the uncut VODs, so you could find the original uncut content, not cut into parts, and, you know, have, like, the original chat and stuff like that next to the screen, so you'd be able to see, like, the things that were being chatted during cutscenes as well. Yeah, that's all going away. So, I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. I might make some full VODs, like, YouTube playlists and start exporting my shit ton of content onto that, which I can show here. I've been sorting stuff out with that. So I just recently started Final Fantasy VII, so that's why there's stuff on that. So, yeah, I got this little thingamabob today. And it said, yeah, very excited about Twitch stuff. Highlights and uploads. I'm going to consider this like a badge of honor, though. The fact that over the past 6 years of streaming, I have over 10,000 hours of playthrough content. So this wouldn't include like the multiplayer stuff because I wouldn't highlight that. This would be purely playthrough stuff. So, you know, can give myself a little bit of a pat on the ass about like the amount of content that I produce over the past 6 years. But yeah, I do technically still have most of it on YouTube anyway, just in like the parts format. I just kind of like having it in like a full VOD format as well. So I've been starting at like the beginning, I've been going through, I've been downloading and exporting a shit ton of stuff, and I might just make like some full VODs playlists and stuff. And I've already been doing that for LAN events recently, like HalloLAN, JanLAN, and Fragapalooza. Are things I have like the first full VODs playlists for, which are just like the full streams exported there. Relatively, because YouTube also has like a limit of like 12-hour maximums of video. I don't know how you get around that. So then I have to cut things up into parts from there anyway. Like if it exceeds 12 hours, then it's a bit of a mess, and yeah. But a lot of this stuff is just gonna be going away soon, and I'll try to relocate what I can to YouTube, but it's gonna be a bit of a shit ton of work, and yeah. So I'll talk a little bit more thoroughly about that probably a little bit later in the stream here. How's it going today, Mythic? What do I do here? I have to talk here. What story quest do I want to do today? Show me the Alliance map. I guess I can ask if you're okay there. Yeah, been better, been worse, fair enough. The cinematic camera shot just to say, I have changed my mind. Show me the alliance map. I have changed my mind. Are you alright?
Are you well? You seem distant.
So, I mean...
I'm fine. Only a little tired, but well enough. Shall we look at the map?
Not until you tell me what is wrong.
Oh, I think I have. I feel somewhat trapped. In this room, in this settlement, in this life.
I cannot help you with your life just now, but I can get you out of this room. What do you say?
I don't know.
Do I really want to do a side quest right now?
Stop. Forget about alliances and responsibility for just a few hours. We could take a ride.
Because I just kind of want to see the story objectives through.
For a change of pace.
Don't tell me I'm locked into this.
Lovely. And too far to consider just now. But thank you, Eivor. Maybe another time.
Another time, then.
What was it you needed?
So I might use this layout, because I know that this is, like, the perfect set with the camera for, like, items and stuff to appear just over here. Just like in Ghost of Tsushima. Let's go to Grand British... Okay, so I can do that quest whenever. So I have to go make a new friend. Power level 150, whichever one is the lowest, I guess. 190, 310. So one of these two, that has a reward of supplies, and this one has a reward of, I don't know, my house goes up. I don't know what that means. Tutorials, nope. I don't know. What even is this Oh, it says London right there. So, Oxenfordshire or London? Vote now on your phones. I think Mythic might be the only one in the stream right now. Mythic, if you have a suggestion of whether you would prefer to see me go do an adventure to make friends in London or in Oxenfordshire, like, I'm down to do either one. Like, is there either one that you're, like, particularly hyped about? You're just like, oh man, I've been so excited to see Acoustic Harmonia's part of the Valhalla playthrough, where he finally goes to London and meets all the awesome guys there that are definitely not going to be forgettable, or reach Oxenfordshire. But all the Placid Plastic Duck Simulator DLC, I now have 46.7 hours into the game. Nice. If we go to the one place we might learn how to actually pronounce it correctly, what, this one here probably then? Oxenfordshire? I don't think that's quite as many hours as my cousin's younger kiddo that when she saw that we were playing Plastic Duck Simulator and brought me over to her computer at Janland last month. And she had the game booted up and just loaded up a save file of ducks everywhere to the point that it was lagging her computer. It was certainly something. All right, here, let's go to Oxenfordshire.
What of Oxenfordshire?
Oh, I basically had it.
Ah, yes. Sigurd is there now, in fact.
Oh, we haven't seen him for a while.
Meet him as soon as you can. He is partnered
okay.
with the rebellious
Save file with over 160 ducks now.
In exchange for
nice.
There is an alehouse at the center of Buckingham. Sigurd will meet you there.
Okay. I will pledge. Get stabbed. Territory pledged. We're gonna go make a friend there this stream.
I should join my brother then.
Location discovered. Buckingham. Request Brewing Rebellion.
River that divides
Oxenfordshire. Okay, so I need to go... Oh, I was already on world. I need to go here, then it looks like. Brewing Rebellion. Okay, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get over there anyway. Don't really have a closer fast travel point, do I? Like, I may as well just book it from here. Like, I could boat over here. Screw it. I'm just booking it from here, I guess. Yeah, that marker. The viewpoint. Well, I guess I may as well ramble about the Twitch stuff here. So, I think it was my Sword and Shield playthrough that started it, because those are some of the earliest VODs I was going through. Sword and Shield or Fire Emblem Three Houses. One of those two are some of the early instances of cutting things up into parts, but also keeping, like, the full VOD version. No, I'm out here. I'm not interested in whatever you're selling. I started keeping, like, the full streams over on the Twitch side of things as well. That's just a tree. I thought that was a person. So whenever I was cutting things up into parts, I would have the individual parts that they're more digestible on the YouTube side of things, and it's also easier to find things. Like, I don't really want to have just, like, stream 1, stream 2, stream 3, stream 4 as, like, my sole thing over on YouTube. Because then it's going to be difficult to find, like, a particular part of the playthrough that you're trying to find. So if my playthrough parts are around like 20 to 30 minutes, and they all have like clear thumbnails and titles about like what's going on there, then it can be easy to scroll through and be like, ah, that's the part of the playthrough that I'm looking for. Or, this is the thing that happens around here, you know? Instead of just having like, here's a 5-hour stream where a bunch of stuff goes on, and if you're trying to find something, like, good friggin' luck. I have Ghost of Tsushima on the mind where I just had to tap that. I have a wolf, right? Yeah, I have a big-ass wolf. Just a little bit bigger than a corgi here. But I did still like having the full uncut streams around just for preservation purposes. What the heck is this? So I would cut things up into parts, but I would also have like the full stream saved onto the Twitch side of things. Read. Norseman's offering. Tomorrow we battle, me and my brother. This feud between us has reached its apex. It shall end with one of us standing over the corpse of the other, with our sons bearing witness. Grant me victory, Odin, and I will make it my purpose to raise my son and nephew into the finest warriors, worthy of a seat at your table. This blue thing, it's like... here? Wait, what? Bullhead small, 0 out of 10. What does that even mean? Make the offering? Return with the offering. Oh, well, I don't have an offering, so it sucks to suck for me. So I just kind of liked having that for preservation purposes, and I would put them into a Twitch collection, it's called, which are basically the equivalent of YouTube playlists. So, in the descriptions of all my videos, I would always have the links to, here's like the playlist for the series, here's the link to the playlist for the overarching series. So like in the description of this on the YouTube side, there'd be like an Aesir Valhalla playlist. There'd be an Assassin's Creed series playlist that's just all my Assassin's Creed content in one playlist. And then I would have a link to the uncut Twitch VODs, in case anyone wants to go see stuff early, see like the original uncut stream, how it flows. If anyone cares about like the loading screens that I cut out, be able to see what's being discussed in the chat like during cutscenes, because I have like the chat and stuff off during cutscenes, so normally you don't get to see what's being said during cutscenes, and sometimes there's some conversations going on, so a place to still be able to find that. But apparently Twitch has gotten like pretty sick and tired of people like me doing stuff like that, considering they put out this little notice here. Here, we could visit the help article, because it costs them money. Note, we're implementing 100-hour storage limits for highlights and uploads starting April 19th. Here's what you need to know. Starting April 19th, 2025, all highlights and uploads, whether published or unpublished, will count towards a single 100-hour storage limit. The storage limit applies to all highlights and uploads on your channel, regardless of when they were created. No, it does not apply to past broadcasts, VODs, or clips. Yeah, so it can still make as many clips as you want, because that's like a very highly shareable thing on their platform that gets them a lot of attention. But highlights do not, so they're like, alright, this is costing us money, like, providing the storage for all this, so we're deleting it. And of course, like, past broadcasts get, like, auto-deleted after 2 weeks by default, and I believe 2 months if you're a Prime user or you're a partnered streamer. Only highlights or uploads will need to be deleted to meet this quota. Clips and past broadcasts will not be deleted as a result of this update. So past broadcasts are automatically deleted to save them space anyway, and clips are the only things that they say that they're gonna, like, keep on preserving forever, because that's, like, one of the big shareable revenue-driving, attention-driving kind of things for their platform. If we made a bot that would periodically, every minute, create a minute-long clip, right. And then we save that all in some great collective and straight save every stream that way, just a big fuck you to Twitch. Yeah, less than 0.5% of active streamers on Twitch are over the 100-hour storage limit today. Yeah, but some of those 0.5% certainly take up a whole lot. So I think Twitch is really fed up with people like me, because most people don't really use the highlighting tool, and if they do, it would just be for, like, the odd thing here and there. It wouldn't be for, like, everything they do, like me. So I think Twitch probably looked at channels like mine, and they were like, holy shit, this one guy that's, like, a very small creator that's barely making us any money is, like, costing us way more than he's making us, and, like, eating up our storage and stuff. Because, like, don't get me wrong, like, storage is costly. Like, it does cost a lot to maintain that kind of thing. But Twitch is also Amazon, so they're basically printing money all the time. Though Twitch is a standalone platform, I've also heard, has, like, struggled to be profitable for a long time. Which is, like, how insanely mismanaged is it then with, like, the amount of monetization they have in it? Like, I get that it's, that, like, providing a streaming platform is costly and providing a storage platform is costly. Yeah, we talk in the update here because that greatly affects me, considering this is what I do. to like all my streams. So this is what I did to like Final Fantasy last night, is like, hey, here's the parts cut up for YouTube. I don't know why I did 7 twice. I swear I did not make 7 twice. And then I do like a full stream thingamabob, and then I put these into Twitch collections. And recently, I thought it was odd when I couldn't actually add things to collections through this screen. I had to go through like the collection manager here. I was looking at my Final Fantasy 1 here earlier. And you've got mad thoughts on this? Okay, I'm down to hear them. Yeah, I heard about that from the Discord server there. How's it going, Guzma? I thought it was kind of strange when I couldn't add things to... Oh, now it's working to, like, add things to this. But this wasn't working for a while. I was like, huh, that's odd. And then with Assassin's Creed, I was trying to add things to it, and that wasn't working either. And before, Twitch used to be like, you can have up to 100 collections, and each collection can have up to 200 videos. So I mentioned a few times in my Assassin's Creed series, like, we're getting there. It's possible I might go over, like, the 200 limit one of these days with the way these are going. But I couldn't add to this anymore. And I found out about a week ago that they changed the limit to 100 videos in this, and I was like, oh, okay. So I renamed this collection to Assassin's Creed Part 1, and I made a new collection of Assassin's Creed Part 2 that just started with, like, the last stream of Valhalla, stream 5 here. And then today, I see this notice here. But yeah, before, if I needed to add stuff to the collection, I had to, like, do this the past couple days here. But yeah, all of this is going to be going away. So all of these Twitch playlists, collections of so many of my series over the past 6 years, yeah, they're getting sent to the Shadow Realm. So from this point on the YouTube side of things, all these links in the description of, like, a metric shit ton of videos on my channel, they're all just going to lead to nothing. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of dead links on my channel, and no way I go across all my videos taking them out, because, like, that is going to be way too much work that I can do with, like, the amount of videos that I have on my channel. I think I have over 10,000 videos on my YouTube channel. So, you know, there's that. So this is all getting sent to the Shadow Realm. I'm not very impressed about that. So I've started, like, exporting a bunch of my old stuff. I'm starting at, like, the oldest. I'm trying to export to YouTube. I'm trying to make, like, some full VOD kind of stuff here, which I'd been doing starting with the, like, some of the freaking LAN events. I couldn't remember the name for a hot second there. So, like, HoloLAN, you can see I'm starting to make things like Ghost of VODs, Fire Emblem VODs, Final Fantasy VODs. So I'm starting to make those as of earlier today. Whoops, I don't know how to spell HoloLAN, apparently. HoloLAN. So I already made, like, ones where it's like, hey, here's the normal HoloLAN playlist of just the, stuff cut up into parts and, like, the full VODs thingamabobs. I've started making these for LAN events that I go to, and these are all unlisted videos. It's an unlisted playlist, but you can find them linked in the description of, like, all the content here, because I just didn't want to make, like, a Twitch collection for everything. You can see me asking ChatGPT 3D printing questions there. I didn't want to make a collection for, like, every LAN event that I ever went to, because you can only have, like, 100 collections at most, and I didn't want to be reaching that cap. So I was like, so to conserve all the LAN events that I go to, let's just go ahead and do, like, uncut VOD thingamabobs for this. So, like, I did one for Fragapalooza 2024 here. Fragapalooza 2024, and it's just like, hey, here's just the raw streams, just for, like, preservation purposes, and even, like, the stuff that isn't in, like, my main content, just, like, setting stuff up. And then it's kind of here's, like, a historical record of the channel and stuff like that, you know? I kind of like having it around. So, part of me is thinking, like, should I just start doing this for, like, all my other series and just very slowly moving all this shit over to YouTube? Like, it's not like I'm technically losing all that much stuff with this stuff getting sent to the Shadow Realm, because I do have this content on YouTube as well. It's cut up into parts. But I also just like having the original streams for preservation purposes, and we're also missing out on, like, some of the original material by them sending this to the Shadow Realm, because as I mentioned before, like, I'm turning off, like, the chat and stuff during cutscenes to see the story. So if there's any conversations that were going on in the Twitch chat during cutscenes, you can find that, like, in these VODs. Like, you can see the full chat on the side, because that is recorded with these. And it's not going to show up here right now. Like, I don't know what's going on with that, or maybe that was just a dead stream or something. So that was something that I kind of liked about, like, preserving it on the Twitch side. But I guess that's just going to be no more, and there's going to be, like, a lot of aspects like that of my content over the past 6 years that is now getting sent to the Shadow Realm. So, yeah, there's that. So I'm not very impressed. I'm going to have a lot of work to do over the coming weeks. Like, well, depending on how long it takes me here. I have until April 19th, I guess. So I have a lot of work to do, So just as a heads up, expect a lot of dead links over like all the content that I've set up before this point. And I'm gonna try to see what I can do about like VODs from this point and like have a remedy to having full VODs, because I do like to have that in addition to my parts. So I'm trying to figure out solutions with putting that on YouTube, but it's probably gonna take me a while, and there probably just won't be like full VOD stuff available for a little while around here. So yeah, there's a little bit of a heads up about a future of the channel thing there. And it's also a little bit of incentive for me to jump ship from Twitch to YouTube even earlier than I thought, because I figured it would happen one day. And now this is definitely extra incentive, I will admit. I'm so angry. I've got like 3K hours that I need to move myself, and it's so annoying. Oh, jeez. It's like they're actually trying to push users off the site in favor of going to competitors. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like sometimes. Do you have a YouTube channel that, like, you have linked to your Twitch? Like, can you at least do, like, this kind of thing? Also, like, you see all these edit beginnings, edit ends thing, because there wasn't, like, you can only highlight up to, like, an exact second, and the loading screens on Final Fantasy VII are actually really fast. So, like, I don't want a part to end with, like, half a second of in the next area. I want it to end on, like, the black between loading screens. So, like, these are marked with all these, like, little editing notes for me that I just use, like, YouTube Studio to cut out and stuff. Don't understand why Twitch wouldn't want to become a competitor to YouTube and encourage users to stay on the site by pushing VOD content and make it easier to discover past content. Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know why they would have collections if that wasn't the idea. But yeah, Twitch VOD stuff is really not pushed at all. And, like, who even uploads videos to Twitch? Like, it's not pushed at all. The only thing that they really push are clips, and they've only really even started doing that in the past couple of years after people were asking for it. For years, like, please promote clips, and please have, like, a way that people can discover you through clips. So it's only after the past couple of years that they finally did that. But they've never really tried to with VODs. It's a massive blow to a lot of shows, legacy broadcasters, and speedruns. So much is going to be affected by this. I could only imagine. Like, for a lot of people that submit speedruns, like, if I just go to speedrun.com, speed test, yeah, that'd be from, different events there. Am I logged? No, I'm not logged in on Chrome. Speedrun.com. Whoa. Speedrun.com here. Like, let's have a look-see here. This is my run being verified. Hell yeah! Look at this, my random Roy run. Look at this. Because I was bored in the middle of Fire Emblem Binding Blade earlier this week and just had, like, this auto hotkey script just automatically grinding for me while I waited. I was so bored that I was like, screw it, I'm booting up Smash Ultimate, and I'm just gonna get, like, the new world record for, like, Roy Sentry Smash time here. So, this is a pretty shit time overall for Sentry Smash, but it's the new best one. It's the new world record for Roy. Just because there's, like, basically no competition on that front, so I was like, let's play Roy, because this is Roy's game that's playing in the background here. And that's a Twitch highlight. And I don't do speedrun stuff. I have very little stuff on speedrun.com. I just have meme shit like this, is all I have. Or I'll submit stuff whenever I beat something in, like, a single playthrough, or as a single stream. Like, if I look up here, Princess Peach Showtime, for example, when I played that when it came out. Am I the slowest on the leaderboard? Hell yeah! Like, whenever I beat a game in one session, I always submit it to speedrun.com because it's funny. So, like, here's Princess Peach Showtime. All these speedruns that are, like, 3.5 hours, 4 hours, 25th place, Acoustic Harmonia, 7 hours, 3 minutes, 47 seconds. Look, I'm the 25th fastest person in the world at Princess Peach Showtime. And these are Twitch VODs. Like, these are highlights that I saved so that they would be able to, like, stay there. So, in my description, I'm fast. I'm so fast. Historians will look back on the day Acoustic Harmonia played Princess Peach Showtime and say, my word. Now, he certainly was fast. He was so fast. Oh yeah, and then I didn't actually get around to submitting this for a while. And then, yeah, some timestamp kind of stuff here. So, I don't really do speedrun stuff all that much. But I do meme shit from, like, time to time. And these are all Twitch VODs. So, like, if these get automatically deleted, thanks Kill a Dragon for verifying the most amazing Princess Peach Showtime run here. Am I just gonna have to be, like, careful to delete enough other stuff and leave this stuff on there so that I'm, like, within the friggin' limit here? Because, like, if I don't go under this limit, a bunch of stuff is going to be automatically deleted. So is this just going to direct to, like, nothing here? Are my runs going to get invalidated? So that's a minor concern for me for my meme runs here. But for people that actually seriously speedrun and have like all this stuff archived across like so many runs and so many different games, I can only imagine that they're like completely screwed now when that makes up like the bulk of their content and they need it to like be available. Like that is extremely damning. So yeah, yikes. But yeah, let's see here. Do have an archive YouTube channel set up, been exporting all day, but now the function is broken on my end, so hoping that it's just a daily cap. I've run into that before. I think that there probably is a daily cap, because when I've done, like, exporting for things like a big LAN event that I just did, like, I'm very rarely streaming so much that I have, like, a shit ton of content to export, but things like Fragapalooza, like, let's see here, Fragapalooza 2024, where this is just 4 days of, like, straight streaming, and this is 120 videos, I think that was saying. I have hit a cap on that, where it's like, you're not allowed to exceed 100 plus per day. I forget whether it was YouTube that notified me about that, or Twitch that notified me about that. I think there's a daily cap. I looked it up earlier today, and the interwebs was saying there is no cap. But I've run into a cap before, and I think it's 100 videos. So when I'm doing things like this, setting them up in a day, then I just lost where it is, right here, Fragapalooza 2024. I need to, like, span it across multiple days when I'm archiving all that crap. But yeah, I should try not to push it too much. Don't want to self-promo or anything. I definitely get that feel. Roy's our boy, heck yeah. Yeah, everyone has their different standards. Just stay quiet until addressed. Yeah, fair enough. 25th is better than 26th? Wait, what? For, what now? I think I missed the part in the conversation where I was mentioning something with that. The importance of live stream VODs is huge for records and maintaining a higher standard to try and eliminate issues of cheating. Yeah, and now there's just so much that's going to be sent to the Shadow Realm. And again, I get that storage is expensive here, and I guess, like, this is their justification where it's like, hey, this affects very little people, and we're not making money off of it, because very little people are tuning into it. It really, really screws their users over to help improve their bottom line here. So, yeah, I am definitely thinking a little bit more of like, should that jump to YouTube become, like, a little bit earlier? Should I start streaming on YouTube? But then again, like, I want, like, the cut-up parts as well, so that's, like, more easily digestible later. So then it's like, would I stream on YouTube and then, like, unlist that video, and then that goes into a full VODs thing, and then I cut it up into parts? Would people then complain that I'm basically, like, taking away that content that was previously available live and then spoon-feeding it later? Because, I mean, that's technically what I already do on Twitch. But nobody would complain about that because it's a whole different platform. But on the same platform, maybe that would be a complaint. And would that be seen as a shitty thing that I'd be doing then by, like, unlisting my VODs and then slowly releasing the cut-up stuff? Or, like, what's the approach? Or maybe I start dual streaming or something like that? Ever since they made it possible for affiliates to dual stream, taking away the restriction on that, like, a couple of years ago, I think they did. It has been a thought that's crossed my mind about trying out dual streaming. And then it's like, hey, my YouTube's bigger than my Twitch anyway, like... But I'm, like, more established as streaming on Twitch, so maybe I just, like, double dip there and, like, see where it gets me. Maybe I do that, and then I unlist the YouTube stuff, and then I continue to use, like, the Twitch highlighter to cut stuff up and or something or other after I delete a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But continuing to remain with just purely streaming on Twitch, like, as a standalone thing, I am starting to question it more than I have in a little while, for sure. But yeah, it's just insane that the thought is we're not making money on this, let's delete it, and we're not making money on this, how do we make money on this? Yeah, like, you would think they would do. Like, I know that Twitch has a lot of issues with, like, properly making revenue, because I've heard that they're apparently not profitable for a great many years. Like, they have amazing backing since they're Amazon and all that, so it's like, yeah, they can keep this ship afloat however long they want. But I do know that they would want to be making profit off of it. But by making choices that are just going to turn people off from their platform instead of turning their platform into more of a competitor, I don't see it. I don't see, like, the logic. And what's not since 2013? Like, them actually trying to innovate and stuff. Because, I mean, in terms of live streaming platforms, maybe I should start with, like, the VOD kind of site. If you want to go to, like, a place for gaming VODs, you go to YouTube. There isn't really competition for that kind of thing. Twitch could have absolutely tried to push it being competition, but they've never really tried to make it be a platform where you can browse VOD content. Like, it's just a place to browse live stream content and more recently clip content. There isn't really an option to browse VOD content and see, like, existing content that's out there. You have to, like, find a channel that you know you want to look into and then look into their VODs. Like, you don't really search up for Twitch VODs. It's not really a thing on the platform. So YouTube, like, absolutely holds the monopoly on VOD content. Live stream content, Twitch used to be the powerhouse on that front. Like, they still are to an extent, but nowadays there's a lot more competition. If you want to go watch a live stream, you can do it on Twitch. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Facebook Live. You could do it on Mixer for a while before that got shut down. And I'm sure that there's other platforms that I'm not aware of here as well. Like, there is many different platforms. And YouTube has been trying to, like, establish their live streaming content more and more. From time to time, I'll get, like, recommendations on my YouTube homepage of, like, small streamers with just, like, a handful of viewers that are playing, like, some game that I've been playing recently. So I'm making content on it. I'm leaving comments on, like, my content. So Twitch is like, oh, so you like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you like Ghost of Tsushima, you like Final Fantasy, stuff like that. And it starts promoting a little bit of that. Like, I do still think there's a lot of room for improvement in terms of the YouTube Live sector. I still think that it has lots of issues of its own. But they're actively trying to, like, improve it and make people start thinking about YouTube as a live streaming platform as well. I still think that's not that much of the public perception to think of, like, YouTube as a live streaming platform. Like, when I think of YouTube, I don't think of it as a live streaming platform. But I think if they continue on the track that they're going, then maybe people will begin to think of it as a VOD and live streaming platform. And, like, if they manage to get to that point where that's what the public perception of YouTube is, then, like, Twitch is completely screwed and going, like, is basically done for, I would think. And, like, this is definitely not helping matters. Amazon has just consistently made worse and worse choices. It's absolutely baffling. I think they've been bleeding money since Amazon took over in 2014. Jeez. The logic is simple. They don't care about consumers, they only care about shareholders. If they have a good quarter, the executives get a bonus. It encourages short-term thinking for execs to get bonuses and then bail when things go downhill. Maybe here. The second YouTube is even slightly superior to Twitch, Twitch is over. Oh yeah, no doubt. And the moment I saw YouTube trying to get a piece of that live streaming pie, I knew that, like, staying on Twitch is not a long-term sustainable thing. It's one of the reasons why, like, I've tried to have all the stuff that I do on Twitch available on YouTube as well. Because I know that this is not going to be long-term. I didn't think that it would not be long-term in this kind of sense this soon. This was definitely a bit of a surprise to me. But I knew that this wasn't going to be, like, the long-term place that I stay, and eventually I am going to want to jump ship over to YouTube. So, I am glad that I already have stuff, like, all my playthrough content in parts at least already on YouTube and stuff like that, so I'm good on that front at least. But, yeah, I've had these ideas of jumping ship from Twitch in my head for a little while now. I've just been kind of comfortable here. But yeah, I am starting to think about it more and more. And I know that with Twitch's awful decisions over the years, more and more people are jumping ship all the time across, like, better revenue deals, better platforms that, like, push out their content more and more, like YouTube, or, like, I hear that, like, Facebook Live goes pretty hard for, like, the few people that actually use Facebook, like, so I guess that pushes, I have no idea how, like, Facebook Live works, but I've heard that, like, those that are on it, like, typically are doing pretty well. I miss Hitbox. Gosh, I remember the time where Twitch almost became a cam site for soft porn. That's just always. That hasn't almost happened. That's just, like, Twitch all the time anyway. That's one way that Twitch is superior to YouTube. I can just, like, strip down and, like, totally just flaunt myself and get a bunch of views that way that, like, YouTube would be a little bit more hard on. Though, I guess it wouldn't actually be that lucrative for me because I'm a guy. So I guess that's not as big of an advantage then, but oh well. I guess I lost the 50-50 at birth to be able to, like, really make use of Twitch that way, huh? Not even superior. I think most users would flood to another site if it was slightly worse overall experience with better ease of access, UI, etc. Yeah, like, and so many people are on YouTube as well anyway. So, like, if YouTube establishes itself as, like, a really good streaming platform, it's just over for so many other streaming platforms because everyone is already on YouTube for VOD content. So, everyone's already on YouTube for VOD content, but for live streaming content, they're all over the place. But if YouTube makes their live streaming, like, services, like, not necessarily better, but yeah, even just a smidge worse and continue to improve it more and more, everyone is already on YouTube anyway. So why wouldn't you just start streaming on YouTube? Because everybody is already there. for the pre-recorded content anyway. And that's one of the reasons why I've thought, like, okay, one day I'm probably going to be over to just, like, YouTube streaming. And, like, this Twitch thing is not going to be long-term. Because, yeah, it just makes sense to have, like, all your eggs in one basket. That is, the reliable basket in that sense, you could say. Because, you know, I know that they say, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But in the case of this, where everyone is on YouTube for the VOD content, why would you not? But yeah, let's see here. It was a whole meta thing a while back. Penguin Z covered it a whole lot. Can't believe Twitch went down that route and never addressed it for the longest time. They still basically don't. Like, sometimes when people complain enough about, like, a particular kind of thing, like Fortnite being green screened onto someone's ass, then sometimes they'll take action. But they still give, like, a lot of leeway and favoritism. Yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, I think YouTube does certainly have its own issues with that for sure. Yeah, like, I'm sure it's an issue there as well. But, like, all these platforms have their own issues. But, like, Twitch definitely has more issues, I feel like. I wish there was a good third platform for long-form content. Yeah, honestly. And yeah, when it comes to, like, convenience and stuff like that, here's another example that I can use. Steam. A lot of people aren't the biggest fans of Steam, myself included. Not really a big fan of, like, the 30% cut that they take out of everything. The fact that Valve really doesn't make all that much in the way of games of their own anymore when people wish that they would make games again. But everyone still uses it because it's convenient. It's an all-in-one kind of thing. I saw an interesting post earlier today that was, like, one of the heads of, like, the Amazon Games program that talked about why it failed in competing with Steam. And I know how Steam is, like, so many things in one just for, like, the convenience. Like, it's the game store. It's the library. You can add things outside of it. It's social media. You've got, like, groups that you can join. You've got, like, your friends list. You can communicate with, like, people in it and stuff like that. Like, it's so many things bundled in one. And just so convenient that, despite the fact that a lot of people, myself included, have a lot of misgivings with Steam, continue to use it for, like, the convenience. Don't think that Steam is fair with the 30% for all they offer for users and developers. I'm actually not entirely familiar with, like, everything that's on offer for, like, users and, well, for users I'm aware of. For developers, I'm not entirely sure here. I do feel like the cut could be a little bit better just because of, like, how much control that they have, but, you know, it's not quite as garbage as some of the decisions, like, Twitch makes, I feel like, is the case. And hello, is there no Tori? Yeah, Twitch definitely has some favoritism there. And this is a depressing conversation you just walked in on. Yep, my VODs are going away. Not gonna be happening that many times soon. Worst thing about Steam is the sus games on it. My mom discovered today, scrolling through Steam looking for something to play, that anime dating games will put uncensored private parts on their slide images. And yeah, I've definitely heard a thing or two about Kick before. I don't think I could ever see myself going on to Kick. If I ever stop streaming on Twitch, I'm just going over to YouTube because I have, like, an established YouTube channel and stuff. But with Steam, I think my biggest misgiving is just the fact that you don't truly own your games. The fact that it's, like, a license that you're getting to essentially be borrowing them. Like, Steam very, very rarely takes away people's games. So it's like, I'm not too worried about them, like, being like, oh, get pranked, we're taking your games away. But there's still, like, a slight discomfort about that being the case where it's like the option is there, you know? I know that there's platforms like GOG, for example, where it's like you do truly own your games. They're not going to be taken away. I'm very, very much a physical media person where possible. I always get, like, all my console games physically. I never get them digitally. And PC basically have to go digital because, like, that's basically what you have to do with PC nowadays. But if it was, like, somewhat convenient to do physical with PC games, like, trust me, I would totally be doing physical on PC games. Plus, I love having, like, my game shelf covered with, like, all my games and stuff. I think my cable is dying here. I tapped it again, and then my audio briefly went away. But yeah, let's see here. Best thing about Steam is that they're a privately traded company, so we don't have to worry about them catering to shareholders to improve quarterly profits constantly. Until the current execs get old and pass on, leaving some random guy who makes the company public takes over, that's when we get screwed. I'll buy physical PC games on Blu-ray. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be schnice there? But anyway, the rest of the things here, channel still over the storage limit after April 19th, 2025, will risk having their highlights and uploads automatically deleted, starting with highlights with the least views until they are under the limit. Yeah, so you can tell it's like, they're kind of upsetty spaghetti that they don't get all that much attention on their VOD content, and it's like, well, that's on them for not promoting it. Like, what do you think was going to happen when you let it get relegated to the background there? So, if they need to bring people under the limit, they're going to make sure that the ones that are, like, within that limit is the ones that have, like, the highest views and are therefore getting Twitch the most revenue and stuff. But yeah, I heavily dislike CD Projekt Red out of principle for how they treat their employees and cannot get behind GOG as much as the DRM free stuff is. Is it a CD Projekt Red platform? I've only used it to play Metal Gear Solid, and that's it on PC. So I more so know, like, of it rather than knowing a whole lot about it, but it's interesting. Oh, it's GOG, yes, interesting. Japan still likes physical media. You can buy laptops over there with Blu-ray drives. You think they release PC games physically over there? It's a good question here. I'm getting emails from, yep. Your Twitch export to YouTube failed. Hi, Acoustic Harmony. Your export to YouTube failed the upload to YouTube of your video. This is one of my Fire Emblem ones. And it's notifying me about that now. Great. Well, I'm going to be dealing with a whole bunch of this for a while. We will only delete content once starting April 19th until we bring all channels under the 100-hour limit for highlights and uploads. Once all channels have been brought under the 100-hour limit, no users will be able to exceed that moving forward. So I guess I just can't. Yeah, look, it's grayed out. Storage limit reached. Man. Channels who are already under the limit will be prevented from exceeding the limit between now and April 19th to minimize risk of any highlights or uploads content deletion. To support this change, we're rolling out a new video storage tracker on the video producer page. This has been one of my complaints about the video producer. There's been, like, no way to, like, sort stuff. It was just pages of 20 at a time. You can't even have it be more. Like, at least now you can filter by type, sorted by, and order by. But you still can't search. There's still not a search bar. Like, the most default basic thing that you could have for, like, a place that you store your crap. But there still isn't even that. So, like, it took them saying we're gonna delete all your shit to actually have, like, some sorting stuff. And they still don't even have, like, the most basic thing of a search bar. I'm so happy I made my most recent highlight literally last night before all this happened. So it was safe from, not being able to highlight anymore then, I guess. No longer faced with this. So yeah, on the streams from this point onward, I won't be able to cut them up into parts with the Twitch highlighter tool for the foreseeable future. Like, if it seems like I'm going to be running out of videos and I really need to cut them up into parts to keep on having stuff on YouTube, then I can just download them and I can cut them up with, like, my video editing software, but then I have to render all of them individually over and over and over again for all the parts, and it's so much more work than just specifying a start and end point in the Twitch highlighter tool. So, yeah, and then it also takes up a lot of storage on my computer as well, downloading that stuff and cutting everything up and rendering every individual part, so it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Also adding the ability to sort your highlights, to help you decide which videos are important to keep on Twitch. Yeah, so it should be on there by this date. I already have it here. It's still better than 5 FPS eShop, yeah. I think the Nintendo eShop is, like, the worst digital game store I've ever seen. Like, my god. How does it lag so uncontrollably? Why are we making this change? We originally launched highlights to help streamers create highlight reels of their best moments to engage new viewers on Twitch. Did you now? Then why didn't you, like, promote it ever? Why is it just, like, content where you need to, like, dig into someone's channel to actually find it? However, highlights haven't been very effective in driving discovery or engagement with viewers compared to features like clips, tags, and mobile discovery feed. It's almost like you have, like, actual methods that these are pushed, like actual panels and places that you find these. And, like, you don't have those with highlights. That sure is odd. Despite low effectiveness, some users have accrued thousands of hours of highlights and uploads, often used to create highlights over time. The storage of this content is costly, and we don't like costly. Introducing this 100-hour storage limit, which impacts less than 0.5% of active channels on Twitch and accounts for less than 0.1% of hours watched. Yeah, again, whose fault is that? Helps us manage resources more efficiently, maintain support of highlights and uploads, and continue to invest in new features and improvements and more effective viewer engagement tools like clips and the mobile feed. So essentially they say, we're getting rid of this because it costs us money. Hey, it's not that bad if we get rid of it, because it only affects, like, a small amount of you guys anyway. Plus, besides, nobody really watches it. So, like, it doesn't matter that much that we're getting rid of it. Plus, by getting rid of it, and the fact that we're gonna be making more money, we can continue to, like, make our other stuff better. Because that's totally where the money being saved from this is going to be going. So, yeah, I'm, not exactly very impressed. I have my work cut out for me in the near future here. So yeah, let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 on PC has a physical edition. The Deluxe edition on Larian Store includes a DVD that has, get this, a Steam key on it. Ooh, physical media. So, like, Fallout 76 there, essentially. Yeah, Larian does seem to be the company, man. One, why isn't it promote? Which one is Larian in terms of like platforms here? Or is that the like the company behind Baldur's Gate 3 there? I know Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were made here in Edmonton where I live. And then a very different studio overseas for Baldur's Gate 3. One, why isn't it promoted? Two, what good is it if you can't even combine different VODs into one highlight to do the thing it's supposed to do? You had to create like the compilations and stuff like they were just saying. Like, we intended people to use it for this feature that we never made possible for you to use. Like, thanks, Twitch. But yeah, it's... I don't get it there. I mean, having the Steam key on a DVD instead of just having a Steam key doesn't really make much of a difference. But he's slightly facetious, but I understand the point. Okay, so yeah, that's the studio behind that then. Okay, let's clarify something. 0.5% of active channels on Twitch. Right. Does that include channels that don't upload anything, like me? Yeah, I do wonder how exactly they classify active. Like, what's the criteria for being an active channel on Twitch exactly? How the heck do I, but yeah. So, can I, like, oh, I can do this. This is the synchronization point, right? So yeah, I guess when I go around, like, deleting a bunch of my stuff, like, exporting stuff to YouTube and then deleting a bunch of my stuff, I do wonder if I'm going to have to, like, keep an eye out for the ones that I've submitted to speedrun.com and make sure not to delete those so that those aren't deleted. Like, well, I know that a lot of people have, like, records and stuff on speedrun.com that are Twitch highlights. So is speedrun.com going to, like, have an option to provide a different link to your record time? Because, I mean, that would be really handy considering a lot of people are having their stuff sent to the Shadow Realm here pretty soon. How do I uncrouch? Oh yeah, it's B. I'm getting mixed up with Ghost of Tsushima now. Because otherwise there's going to be a lot of times that are just, like, gone. So, are they going to be like, hey, you can provide a new link to like, a YouTube video or something like that where this exact same run is located? Like, is that a thing that, maybe it's a thing you can already do on speedrun.com? I don't really know. Whoops! I'm sorry, Fox. I guess Ghost of Tsushima didn't teach me well enough to treat them kind enough. Oh no. But yeah, let's see here. Just found out there's a show called Vikings Valhalla, and both your mom and boyfriend just finished watching the whole show. I think you mentioned it a couple times on this series, if I recall here. I feel that active channel needs to be described. What defines an active channel? A Twitch account that is logged into at least once a month? Because that could count me as a 99.5%. Yeah, potentially then. But yeah, well, I guess if it's the exact same setting here, then. But yeah, I don't know if that's a feature that speedrun.com already has, or if it's something that would potentially need to be implemented. Because, yeah, if it's not already implemented, then a lot of things are just going to be gone. But in that case, do people, like, still keep their records? Or without a video, do they just, like, lose their standing? Would I lose my 25th fastest time in the world on Princess Peach Showtime? Like the amazing runner that I am? Would I just lose that, potentially? Yeah, no worries there. That's a great point. Heavily distrust when only % used as opposed to actual numbers to back it up with definitions how those statistics were determined. Yeah, that's what I find Twitch does a lot when they report on, like, different statistics. Is they don't really define what their definitions mean. They're just like, trust us. Like, this is the way that we're making it out. So this is the way that is. Just trust me, bro. Essentially. Sigurd is waiting at the ale house. So, like, over here somewhere. Yeah, giving a percentage is basically the way of saying we don't want to give actual numbers. Yeah. And it doesn't surprise me that Twitch wouldn't want to give actual numbers. For general communication, it's okay, no big deal. For large, sweeping changes, yeah, by, like, a big official platform. Oh, I guess this wouldn't be the ale house. God, no, yeah. Would this not be the ale house, the thing with, like, the bits of ale? Oh, I guess this is the ale house here. I literally have this marked, but, like, it doesn't show me the direction. But if I mark this, that it shows me the direction on. So this is the way to go. So yeah, I am very heavily contemplating about what does the future look like around here. Maybe in the near future I'll start dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube and still doing, like, my cut up into parts thing. Maybe eventually just start doing stuff on YouTube. But then, like, how is the parts going to work? Because I still want to have the parts, but I don't want people to be like, hey, you're literally just taking away your live stream content after you're done with it just to, like, provide it again later. And that's kind of shitty. So, like, what do I end up doing? But yeah, not to mention the fact they can be easily lied about. Yeah, no doubt.